JSS candidates
All
to
right.
end. And we might do a little spotlight for the freshman representative candidate, depending on how it goes. So we're gonna give it like another minute, see if more people join the waiting room, and then we're gonna get started.
Yeah. So who are you want to announce who's running for each position?
Yeah, sure. So running for sophomore representative, we have Jacob Goldsmith and Shay Fishman.
Shay or Shy?
Shay or Shy?
Shay.
Yeah.
Shay Sundarulu.
So running for Katz school representative, we have Emmanuel Mike Finn and Dan Maroney. And JSS candidate, we have Adir Cohen and Elon Maroney. I don't know. I can never pronounce your last name right, man. I'm sorry.
It's all right.
Yeah. So we're starting off with sophomore candidates. I think you're both here. So if you guys want to give little introductions about yourself, we can start off with Shay. Just give us like a 30-second who you are, why you background.
And why you decided to run for your position.
All right, I'm Shay, obviously. I've been on campus physically for 3 semesters, and I think I really know the feel of the campus and how it works and what doesn't work. And I think I could really benefit the student council in terms of ideas and listening to the voice of students and sophomores specifically.
Very good, very good. Jacob?
Hi, my name is Jacob. ERS native. I was in the Army for a little bit, back in the TIV, and now I'm here. First year in YU. And yeah, why am I running? I think leadership's an important thing, definitely a quality that I like. Something that was very important to me in Israel. And so just to bring it here to the campus and to try to do my best for the people, for everyone here.
That's great. In your opinion, let's start with, let's go back to Jacob since we just ended off on Jacob, and then we'll do a snake order. So Jacob, in your opinion, what are some of the main issues pertaining to first-year students on campus, and how do you plan on fixing them?
I think a big issue is just feeling lost. Again, I'm also feeling this through my experiences, and I'm very new in the system. I think just the big issue is like, oh my God, you need a map to figure out there's online dealing with everything class and everything, and you need a map for that map to decipher the first map, and then you can throw a third map in, which would be nice, like maybe some terrain, something. It's a crazy system, and I think just having maybe more people there to help out along the way in the very basic things, and again, as help out with the more basic things, then you can add on the nice perks of like, I don't know. I know there was like a big talk about higher quality cameras, for example, for games and for sheer stuff like that. And then you can add on all these perks, so from the basics and up. I think is a really way to go about it.
Shay, what about you? What do you think are the biggest issues pertaining to sophomores this year?
I care about superficial improvements as much as the next guy, like elevators. Of course, I want them to work. I don't want YU to keep throwing Band-Aids on them. Every day there's a different elevator that's not working. I would love to do something about that. But, I don't know how realistic that is, but I'd like to vote for something that would make that better. But besides things like that, I care a lot about, my priorities are about mental health support, academic support, and having teachers that you relate to and keeping the ones that kids like. In my experience, the science courses, they get rid of some teachers that the kids like the best, and they just try to make life a little harder. So I think that more academic support. Right now, I think there's only Daphne Herskowitz. That's only one person. And I think they could, because one person left like last year, so if they could hire someone else. And I know people who tried to get into therapy sessions and they got put on waiting lists. So I think I would love for there to be more therapists. I think kids like me who come from out of town definitely need a lot of support as their family's not there. So in any way I could help that, I would. Yeah, that's what I have to say.
Right. So generally, sophomore representatives have run sophomore meet and greet events. Do you have any ideas for such events? And let's start off with Shay this time.
You know, everyone knows food is the way to the heart. So obviously, I know the YU has a little deal with Lake Como. I don't know how many people actually like Lake Como, so we'd probably go to Shop Shop if it were up to me. And people can present their ideas and what they wish to gain from YU and their concerns, and then I could relay that to the rest of the YSU board and hopefully up to the administration to make some real change. I just want an open table discussion. I don't think you need anything too fancy because, you know, people go to events based on is there food, and that's pretty much it. So as long as there's food, and then you kind of open this discussion, I think that could really help.
But how is there going to be food if it's virtual?
Oh, okay. So if it's virtual, I didn't think about that. Maybe it's definitely tough to get people virtually because they're not really with their friends. They're not like, hey, let's go to this together. And I think that just has to rely on marketing and if there are emails that are colorful enough to actually get some interest in. You know, it's all about the headlines and what's going to catch people's attention. So if you write things that are important to sophomores and their concerns, then they're going to see that, and then they're going to be interested, and then they'll share their opinions, hopefully. But I think that's also to do with marketing when it's virtually, like marketing virtually, because I don't know if there's any other option I could think of. Yeah.
All right, Jacob.
Just some clarification on the question: is this co-ed? What exactly are we dealing with? Virtual, and that was a surprise for Shay, so I'm assuming just understand a little bit more.
So, right now, what it's looking like is it will probably be virtual for the first semester. In order to be inclusive, you might be able to run small events on campus. I really can't speak for university policy or New York City or state policy. And then, so that's virtual versus in person. Then co-ed is really up to you. We'll get to that in a later question, I believe.
Well, I really think it depends what your goal is and all the meet and greets, but I know, like, for example, right now, like, they're doing a lot of batei midrashim, like, type things, like, outside of YU. A lot of things are going on outside of YU, and, guys are really connecting like that. I know that, again, this is on the learning morning Seder level, so I'm saying we can definitely bring that out, I think, to a more...
Right, so we're thinking more for the people who are living out of town, which is about 50%, I think, and people who aren't in YP and BMP.
Okay. And just the Seder was
all the sophomores, not just the YP BMP guys who are in towners.
Will these guys be coming in at all? Like, or they're all gonna be home, I'm assuming, just based on this question.
So not necessarily. Some of them may be living in the Heights. We really don't know. Assuming you have to assume you're going to be doing virtual events for the first semester for sure.
Virtual bingo.
There you go. Right.
Or like Family Feud. Family Feud is really fun. I saw actually a real thing they have, like, for work, for jobs, they do like an actual Family Feud game. It's a lot of fun.
I'm actually working on a Family Feud event, so hopefully it works out.
Every year, so I don't know if I want like that. I don't know if that makes sense, but yeah, that's another thing. It's fun. Breakout room riddles things. You gotta figure out.
Okay, so we're gonna keep it from now on the questions to like a 30-second timer, since we don't want it to go too long, and there's like other representatives. So Shay, what are your thoughts on co-ed events between Wilson Barron students?
My thoughts are, if it's consensual, it's good. I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I think it's a good thing, and it's all up to whether the guys and girls want to go to it. You know,
Do you want to
everyone
run
has
any?
their-
So what kind of
Yeah.
events would you be running?
Oh, I would love to run any events, and definitely co-ed events I would like to run, and maybe with the sophomore representative of Barron too.
Oh, that's
I
kind of
think-
time. Sorry.
Okay. Any games always spark some interest.
Okay. Jacob, same question.
What?
I can make it 45 seconds if you guys want also.
Co-ed take. Yeah, starting with the next question, we'll go to 45 seconds.
Okay, fine. Still 30 seconds. Jacob, what are your thoughts on co-ed events?
They say each yeah, a person can do what he wants. So a person who wants to go to these events will go. I'm definitely open to the idea. Again, I have like a certain standard I would hold myself to in regards to religious, whatever it would be. So I would be willing to run anything outside of my comfort zone, but you know, everyone has their own way of going about it. And like Shay said, well, whoever wants to come will come, whoever doesn't want to go won't go. And you know, that's it. Yeah.
All right. So what is your comfort zone?
Personal note, I'm fine talking with girls. I went to Moshe Vamai, like as a counselor. I was a division head. I worked in Israeli staff. I was also the division head with Israeli staff. I worked with girls in groups and staff, I think you'd say. So I personally am comfortable with it. Again, you know, there's a certain maturity that comes along with being able to work in a co-ed environment, and you know, you gotta think about it. You gotta make the right boundaries and the right activities, and yeah.
All right. Good. Thank you. I think we're out of time. So with the job market extremely volatile due to Corona, how do you plan on helping sophomore students get internships and jobs as representatives? So this one, we'll start with Jacob.
Okay. I have to think about that one. I cannot.
Yeah, this
talk
is-
about that one.
Yeah, this is kind of a stumper. Shay, you have anything?
There's a lot of emails coming from Career Center.
There you go. That's the
Um,
answer.
Oh, okay. So just
Yeah.
continue marketing. I don't know if it's already happening. So I think I've seen enough things on it.
So, yeah, I mean, there's really not much either. So now we're gonna go move on to more personal type questions based on your written works. Zach.
So this one's for Shay. So we read about in your essay that you worked as a representative for JCRC student to student, which is pretty incredible. What experiences from that do you hope to bring to your role as sophomore representative?
That program made me confident in public speaking and leading discussions and events. So I think that could definitely, it's parallel to running events for sophomores and co-ed events, it doesn't matter. I think there are questions that come to you and you have to really be creative with your answers. So, and critiques or I don't know, any opinions you're hearing, I would be more than happy to hear everyone's opinions and then respond in the best way I think possible that would represent student council and YU and keep both parties happy.
Kevin.
Yeah, I mean, okay.
Yeah. For Jacob. So you were in the Army for the past 2 years, so you're pretty much not a real sophomore. What makes you think that you're fit to be the sophomore rep for students who are mostly 2 to 4 years younger than yourself?
When I was doing a lot of workshops for camp this past summer, when we were supposed to be division, they basically said there's a certain beauty for a division to work behind the scenes. There's like certain maturity, certain being able to like look in and see the outer picture as you're older. I think you can pretty much apply that here and say like, you know, again, I would hope, you know, going in, I would try to be honest with them and say I have like a certain older outlook. I'm not that much older, but you know, 2-4 years does have a difference on a person, you know, a lot of that for good and bad. And just, yeah, you know, just because you're necessarily, doesn't, you don't have to, you can always be there and be with the sophomores. And I hope I'm a personable guy, but, you know, you don't have to be the same age necessarily, you know. We'll be in it together also though, at the end of the day. So I will be with a lot of guys from 2 years younger than me, 4 years younger than me, whatever it is.
Yeah. Awesome. Sparks, want to ask the next question to Jacob?
Jacob, so you wrote that your second goal is getting high quality cameras. Do you want to expand on that a little?
I personally wrestled at Wittenberg. I remember the tournaments, looking on the YouTube channels. You always want to look back and see, and like, what was that? Like, it's a terrible video. You can't see my face. You can't see his face. Going back and forth. No, you want higher cameras for sure. I don't know. Everyone wants to see in HD.
So how would you propose paying for those?
Uh,
Pretty expensive.
Marketing, fundraisers. You gotta raise money.
All right. We don't. Generally, that's not how funds are raised.
Oh, so Geo, is that a thing?
What?
Geo.
What's Geo?
Geo is like in like Hal, for example, like they sell like Hershey bars at lunch. So like you kind of like make money like that. No, I'm just like, that concept, is that around here?
Not really. It's not really.
What other money raising concepts are there?
Well, there's a budget that the council decides how to use, but really for such a high level project like that, have to recommend speaking with other departments, trying to figure out how you can get them interested in doing it. More about pulling strings behind the scenes with the other departments in YU than paying for it yourself. Shay.
Yes.
As someone from St. Louis who went to a smaller school, it'd be a pretty big challenge for you to handle the role of sophomore rep for a it's a big role. So
Yeah.
that you're qualified for this position, this big step up.
It's kind of like you keep someone in a very small net, and then when they're released, it's like they're free. It wasn't really my choice to stay in that community. I liked there were a lot of advantages. I went to Mevaseret, one of the biggest yeshivas. There's like total 130 kids, and I really liked it. I got along with so many people. I made friends right away. And when I came to YU, I made more friends than I thought I would. My best friends are now from YU, and I go to the library all the time, and there's a lot of schmoozing, and I go to the CAF, I sit in the CAF, so I don't, I've overcome a lot of social anxiety, and I definitely like the role of public speaking, and I like big crowds. I don't feel so lost and alone in them. If I can try to influence someone for the better, that makes it all worth it.
All right.
Okay, so to wrap up, we kind of give both candidates an opportunity to ask each other a question. So we'll start with Shay. You want to ask Jacob any question?
Oh, that's that's interesting. I would ask, I don't want to be too aggressive, I want to be straightforward though, because you haven't really been on campus so long, which has already been addressed. It's like, can you really feel what it's going to be like for these kids to come up to you and what's wrong? Like, I wouldn't know unless I started coming to unless I was in YU, what's really wrong and how kids really feel and their emotions, and you see it. So how could you, how do you think you could be a good representative lacking so much experience on campus?
Wow, not punches.
I don't want to, whatever. I feel a little bad. I don't know. I am concerned.
Legitimate concern.
Yeah, no, you're right. Yeah, I'd say.
All right. You don't have a response for that. Do you have any questions you'd like to ask Shay before we wrap up this segment?
I actually have a response. So your question, you're saying that because most of the people in this call don't have as much experience on campus because of the quarantine right now. Like, what would we do about that? That's just to clarify, that's your question, correct?
I
Can
think
you,
Shay?
I'm a little confused. What? Can you
I'm
repeat
just
that?
trying to clarify what your question exactly is.
Okay.
So, did I?
To be a good representative, I think you have to know who you're working with and who you're representing. But if you're not in a crowd with them and you're not living with them every day and you're not going to school with them and you're not eating in the caf with 100 of them at a time, it's a little tough to really gauge emotions and feelings and stress levels and critiques and what's really wrong with YU and what could be improved. So, you know, if you're not really there, you don't really feel any of that. I mean, you could be a good representative, you could be a good listener, and you could relay things, but I think, you know, not having experience on campus, it kind of holds, the person who's not there kind of lacks some passion. They don't have the fire that you really want for change because, you know, if you're on campus, you see all these things aren't working and you get frustrated. You want to make change. But if you're not on campus, it's kind of like all theoretical.
That's true. And you're referring to the quarantine right now, how school's not in person, correct? That's
I'm talking about like in person. I hope that we go in person as soon as possible. I think sophomores now are going to spend more time on campus than they are online. At least I hope so.
That's fine. I think let's. I think we're gonna wrap. I mean, Mike, we'll get to your group also after, but we're gonna. And we'll pause on this question.
to the segment that we're on. So Jacob, do you have any questions for Shay right before we end this segment?
I feel like also like a lot of students who are sophomores are coming in, you know, you're going to be the one representing them. They're not always like guys who were freshmen, you know, all the guys. I mean, I feel like a lot of people just switch in, no? It's not probably like a thing.
I think he was saying more that he knows the issues that sophomores face.
No, this is part of my question. This is part of my question on Shay. No, this is a question for, I guess, anyone to answer. Is that true? Transfer students, people come in, new guys in for NYU, right?
Yeah, I think generally sophomores are more people coming out of Israel.
It's about 75%.
So that's a lot of guys. I mean, like in terms of you know the system in terms of being on campus, but in terms of knowing the guys or being with the guys, like it's not like how would you manage not necessarily knowing everyone or seeing all these new faces? 75% of the guys coming in, you know, they're.
Well, I don't think you would really know them so well either, since you've spent the last couple of years in the Army, not in yeshiva.
I wasn't much in yeshiva for a while. Post-Army.
Right, one yeshiva. They're still not your age group. They're not from your grade.
Sure.
Okay. So I guess let's just. All right. Jacob, today, thanks so much for joining us. Can we move on to JSS?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks so much, guys. Elon and Adir, you guys here?
I'm here.
Hey, I'm Adir. Hey, Elon. Good to see you guys. Okay. Barf, you want to start it off?
All right, so start off with the basic question. What made you guys decide to run for JSS representative? We'll start with Elon, just because you're coming up first on my screen.
Oh, all right. What do I want to run? So essentially, I want to help students either in GSS or not, but specifically in GSS because I'm running for it. So I want to help especially GSS students because most of them didn't have any, either didn't go to Jewish schools or didn't have any background in Judaism, and they still came to YU to actually have this environment of Judaism. And I want to help them to, first of all, learn more about Judaism and also embrace their Jewishness and help them to develop within the campus.
I like it. Adir?
I guess I'm running because I want to be able to make JSS. I guess we're already a family, but I want to make us a bigger family. And I want us to be more also part of IBC and like all the other Jewish programs. You know, it's like I wanted like to make all of them like together. Like we could do like events like groups and yeah, just to make JSS better.
You want more communication between JSS and the other morning programs?
Yeah.
All right. Zach, you wanna?
Yeah. So let's just go with Adir. So how will you make Shabbos programming for students who generally aren't interested in a Tish? And what sort of guests do you want to have for Shabbos for, I mean, either I guess like the whole YU or specifically for JSS? Like how do you plan on improving Shabbos on campus is basically what I'm asking. Especially for people who don't currently go.
So when it comes to JSS,
Right.
I think when we,
Oh, you're good. You're good. Yeah, go Adir.
So when it comes to like the JSS Shabbatons, I think when we like do them, we're very welcoming. So I think it's just like it doesn't matter like you're JSS or not, you could come, and it's just about like bringing excitement, bringing joy. So the people that come, you know, we just gotta anticipate, make everyone like want to come and just be part of it.
Right, JSS already has their Shabbaton. Elon, what about?
Yes, I couldn't hear the question precisely. Could you repeat it?
How do you want to improve Shabbos on campus for JSS students?
To improve it, what I'll do first of all is to actually have more Shabbatons, either GSS or last year I think we had 2 of them with GSS IBC kind of mixed up. So what I'll do first of all is have more of them, because I believe that a lot of students are going out of town or going back to their families because they don't want to stay in the caf or wait for somebody to invite them, so they just go back home. And I feel that if we actually have more Shabbatons on campus, first of all, it will be really helpful for them to actually stay and have this kind of community at YU. And also what I'll try to do is to invite alumni from GSS or even other programs to kind of talk about their experience at YU and also their experience outside of YU and what they could bring up to other people.
Cool. Adam, are you in the Google Doc of questions, or you want to let Baruch ask the next question?
I'll take the next one. Baruch, go ahead.
Okay.
All right, so as IBC representative, I'm particularly interested in your answer to this one. What type of collaboration would you guys be interested in doing with the other soy representatives? So this kind of touches on Adir's point again. Elon, if you want to start off on this one.
Yeah, I'll take it. So I believe JSS and IBC are pretty close programs, more than with BMP and YP, because of the degree of learning and degree of knowledge in Torah and Kaddish that BMP and YP guys have usually. So I believe that JSS and IBC are pretty close. So what I would actually think of maybe instituting, maybe not for this year, but maybe next year, would be to maybe have a class of IBC and JSS that would be like for both programs. I'm not sure if it existed yet or not. And also, like I said, maybe have more Shabbatons and events with inviting rabbis from IBC to give shiurim in GSS, or having the vice versa. And of course, I'm already in a shiur where we had once a week a YP class coming to our class, and we're doing a Chazara and having kind of a conversation with the YP guys. So I believe that could be really, could be still possible to be done even with other shiurim in GSS, and of course with BMP and YP.
Nice. Adir?
I mean, yeah, what Elon just said also is like we already actually, we do have some classes that have JSS and IBC classes together, like IBC students together, but there aren't enough, there's only like 1 or 2 classes that like, there's no really like real interaction, just like sitting in class and an hour later you're going. So I don't know, I guess we could just more classes like just that are between IBC and JSS, because like what Elon said, when YP and BMP are like they're just not the same level as like IBC and JSS are. Like it's gotta
Yeah. All right, Adam, you got the next question?
Oh yeah, sorry for coming a minute late, guys. So this next question is, why do you think the role of JSS? What do you think the role of a JSS representative really is, and why are you most qualified, to take on that role? Questions for Adir first, and then followed by Lon.
So why is like I don't know. I know a lot. I know I'm a very friendly kind of person. I know a lot of everyone in JSS. I feel like I'd be able to help like get everyone's voice across, like help make what people want for JSS to be JSS, and yeah, just be able to get everyone's voices heard.
Should I go?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I believe the role of the GSS representative is to kind of be the bridge between the rabbis and kind of between YU and the students. I believe that as a GSS representative, I should be more helpful to the GSS program and kind of help the students realize what they want to learn, which rabbi is more good for them, or if they need more help to help them outside of it. But I believe that even as a GSS representative, we should be able to help the students and even the rabbis outside of GSS. For example, if a Sims kid has an issue with one of his professors and I can't help him with it, maybe I can direct him to one of the rabbis who could be able to make a connection and to link him to one of the outside programs to help him deal with that. So I believe that I shouldn't just be a GSS representative, but I should be more of a general representative to all the students in GSS program.
Okay. This one's specific for Elon. This is your second time running for JSS representative. You didn't get the required amount of signatures last semester to win the election since you only got 17 for write-ins. Why do you think you failed to get over the hump, and what do you think will make this election different?
So essentially, the biggest issue last year was to actually get signatures. It was really hard to send emails and actually get response. Usually what happens is that people just stay in front of the elevators and they just make people sign. And last year, essentially, you could send like 100 emails and it doesn't mean that somebody's going to sign for you or anything. So it was really hard to get the signatures. So yeah, that's pretty much what was the obstacle to get the votes.
So you think this time, because you're on the ballot, you won't have that particular issue of JSS having a small student body and historically low rates of participation in elections?
I believe that it would be easier for people to actually just check a name than actually writing it in. Especially my name is kind of complicated to a lot of Americans. So I believe that it will be easier for them to just check it in instead of just writing it in. So, yeah.
All right, thanks.
Zach, you got the next one?
I was going to get the freebie. Okay, all right, fine, I can ask it. Adir, as someone who is living in the Heights, how do you plan on being active on campus, and any thoughts on the whole Corona situation, I guess?
And so it's gonna be hard to do anything with the whole Corona and like how like with all the measures that the school's taking. But I don't know. I honestly I never thought, I didn't think of it yet. But I guess I just try to go communicate with the rabbis, see like how they're doing, and just figure out something with them. Try to do something online, just over Zoom, and yeah.
Cool. All right, so you each get one freebie question for each other. So we'll start off with Adir. You want to ask Elon a question, and then Elon will ask you a question?
I don't think I got anything for Elon.
Elon, you got anything for Adir?
Yeah. Actually, I have a question. Dear, when actually we are meeting up? Like, I'm still waiting on that.
I'm right over here. Come whenever.
Okay. All right. Thanks a lot, guys, for coming in.
Of course.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, let's head it up with last one. But Katz is last but not least the new position of Katz representative. So there's is Mike Finn here? Yeah, he's here. How's it going, Mike?
Here. And Dan.
And
I'm
Dan.
here.
Okay.
I'm here, yeah.
What's
All
up,
right.
Dan?
Let's
How are you?
Good.
you guys know each other. Cool. Okay, so let's start off with Mike. Why did you decide to run for Katz representative?
Well, this is my second year in Katz, and after spending a full year in Katz and kind of seeing how the Katz school operates, I feel like there should just be more awareness around campus about what Katz actually is, because most students outside of Katz don't have a general understanding of what Katz really is. However, that's just a minor change that I want to make. Mostly, I just feel like there should be a better relationship with students, as well as Mr. Jaffe, who's the head of Katz. There's already a very good relationship, but like an easier way to contact him, an easier way to share thoughts, complaints, comments about Katz, just general stuff like that. Thank you.
Cool. Yeah. Dan, you wanna take this one?
Yes, yeah.
Good to see you, man.
So for me, I want to run for the CATS representative because first of all, it's my third semester in YU. I did like Sims, and right now it's my second year in CATS, and I know a lot of people from CATS, and I really like to help people. So my objective is really to help. And if you need help, I'm all the time available. For example, I'm doing also tutoring right now. I'm doing the accounting tutoring for the CAT students. So, I'm really available for them. And when they ask me questions, I'm trying to answer right away and help them.
Got it. Do you guys have any ideas for possible events plans for CAT students or for the YU population and all? Mike, you could take this one up first.
Well, for now, during the quarantine, there isn't too much that we could do, except we could have Zoom meetings to discuss potential future field trips, things like that. But I do have ideas for things we could do when life starts back up again. I would say starting with definitely more student-oriented events. Tutoring has been established this semester with, like Dan said, he's our tutor for CATS right now. So that system's already been implemented. But there's on top of that, I feel like there should be more events with the actual students and professors, such as field trips, stuff like that.
Got it. And Dan?
So my objective is not really making a lot of events. My objective is really, so I was sitting with some of the students and they told me that they want to do more internship and they want to do more job opportunities after CATS because they're getting an associate degree. So I'm going to go more about making sure that they have all the documents ready for at the end of the CAT school, and they have a job or they have like an internship, or they're going to continue in Sims or YC. But I'm going to present like an event at the end of the year with all the CAT students from the beginning of CAT until now, to making a event with music and things like that when everything going to open.
Got it. Sounds good.
So in the past 2 years, the number of students in the CATS program have declined. Why do you think it is, and what do you plan on doing to help recruit more students to join the program? So we'll start with Mike.
So as I previously stated, student awareness definitely has a part to play in the decline. Students just aren't aware of what CATS really is or that it even exists. So realistically, definitely sending out more emails, advertising the program, putting up flyers, and if that's even an option, mailroom, laundry, restaurant, stuff like that. Just advertise, general marketing for Katz. Definitely need Katz would need a lot more of that.
Okay, Dan.
So I think that the most like why people like not coming to Cats or like they think not coming to Cats is because mostly when you're coming to Cats and you want to continue in Sims, if you did 1 year of yeshiva, you don't get credit for, and I think like literally this is a huge problem because I know some like one person that just left Cats because he told me I didn't got credit for the yeshiva, and this is like a main issue. And sometimes because like you have to take like you are required to take the same classes for the 2 years, and you have also the summer classes that are required, and they are like online classes. We find out how to like make them online. And so I want to propose, for example, that when you do online classes, it's not going to be like required to you to just show up when the professor is doing the class, because it's online, it's already recorded, like that you can do like an internship. And this is the
Is
most
this for Katz
important
or
thing.
all of YU, you're saying?
For Cats.
Also, are you brothers with Elon?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Okay. I figured because same last name, but I didn't know for sure.
All
All
right.
right, cool. It sounds like some great stuff on both ends. Like definitely marketing and maybe fixing up some of the internal problems are great ways of helping increase the number of students. All right, Adam, you want to take the next one?
Yeah, so we noticed that both of you guys didn't fill out the paper. You know, obviously it wasn't mandatory, but explaining a little bit about yourself and why you're running. So
I send it, but I don't know why you
Yeah.
yeah, I send it.
Send it over
yeah,
email.
that's fine. So, got it.
Oh,
We
so
want to
never
know a
mind.
little bit. We want to know a little bit more about you guys, just your background and any like last remarks on why you think that you should be the one who should be representing the CATS program.
Should I start? Same order?
Yeah, sure.
All right.
Yeah, go for it.
All right. So, well, I'm also, this is my third year at YU. First year I did pre-med. It's not for me. So I wanted to go into business, but I've never taken a business course or anything like that before. So what I was suggested is to take CATS as like an introductory type business program. And then after CATS to go to Sims if it was for me. And I feel like CATS was the perfect introduction to business. I see a lot of potential in CATS as like an introductory to business in case of students aren't necessarily sure what they want to exactly do. CATS is the program for that. So that's why I think that there needs to be a different advertising strategy for CATS in order to actually get the word out for like, listen, if there's students out there that aren't sure what they want to be doing, but they are interested in business, CATS is the program for you. So that's a little, do you want more of like a background about myself? I don't feel like I said enough, or did I say enough?
That's good. That sounds good. It's a good story. Like it explains why, explains the reasoning behind it. I like that. Dan?
Can you repeat just like the specific question?
Yeah, we just wanted to be able to know a little bit more about yourself and your background, so that way, people who are voting really understand who you are and why, they should be voting for you.
So just like I'm from France, and like I came to New York. I didn't know where I want to go. I didn't know which school I want to go. I chose to go to YU because like it was a Jewish school. So I started with Sims, and I said that Sims for me was like kind of disorganized because you can take all the classes that you want and all the professors that you want. So I was like I want to be more organized, and I think that CATS was like the best choice for me because like CATS is you have to take the same classes like each semester, and also it's like the first step to know what you want to do. And the thing in CATS that right now we have is that when you have a 3.5 or GPA, you can take like one extra class of NYC. So and I think that people should vote for me because I really want to present it also for Sims classes, that people will be able to take one extra class in Sims. And also, like, I'm really trying to find solution for all the problems that people came to me and told me, like, this is an issue and this is why we don't like it, or this is what we want to change. So I really want changes, and I know that this program is like, I think it's like they started this program like 3 years ago. So you have a lot of things to change in this program, but we're starting, like, I think we're starting to have like a good really program, and it's going to become just better and better.
Sounds good. Zach, you have one last question?
So each of you guys get one freebie question. So we'll start with Dan. If you have any questions for Mike.
Are you going to connect like both campuses, like the White campus and the Burn campus together, or do you think it's not a great idea to combine them together?
I mean, what do you mean, like classes?
No, not just not classes, but like events or like Shabbatons or things like that.
There's already Shabbatons, like JSS Shabbatons are co-ed, for example. So that shouldn't be too difficult to do, making Shabbatons co-ed for Katz. If that's, did I answer?
Yeah.
You were asking? Okay. I just wanted to say also something about you made a very strong point answering the last question, where you said how Sims is on a level very overwhelming for new students coming into college. So that like ties in what me and Dan are saying, where how Katz is the program for new students if they aren't sure. So a question I have for you is, actually I don't really have any questions. You did a good job.
Thank you.
That's totally fine.
Okay. So we're done with all the candidates, with all the positions that have 2 people on the ballots. So we'll just ask a few questions to Gilad now. He's our sole on the ballot candidate for freshman representative. So Gilad, what inspired you to run for freshman rep?
Yeah, first of all, I'd like to say thank you guys for just hosting this event. I think it's really cool. And what inspired me? Well, first of all, I'm someone who likes to be very active, and I'm someone who likes to just be very involved with things. And I think most freshmen aren't like that. I think most freshmen are scared, and they're just trying to find what they want to do, and they're not scared to kind of make efforts. And I think me, as being someone who's really just likes to be active, likes talking to people, likes to put myself out there, I think I'd be a great leader for it, and I want to help. I think I'll be able to help in a very good way.
All right. Is there anything in particular that you think qualifies you to be the freshman representative?
Qualifies me? I mean, again, I've been involved in many things. I've spoken to many people in my past. Obviously, I'm still young, so like, you know, I have a lot more doing that. But like in high school, I was very involved in different things, not just like the one sole thing. So like I know many different people from many different backgrounds and how they work and how they interact with each other and what they need. So I think most people don't understand people in that way. They can't read people in that way. So I think just my understanding of that from, you know, doing a lot of different things would really help.
All right, thanks. I think that's all we're gonna have for tonight.
Yeah, thank you everyone for joining us. Good luck. Election day is on Tuesday, so remember to campaign, post in WhatsApp groups, do your thing. You guys can make Facebook pages, campaign video. I don't know, whatever. It's all good.
Just make sure you send it to us for approval first before sending anything.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Good night, guys.